Well, that's a nice text to get right before a show. His daughter locked herself out of the car. She's stranded down the street.
Oh, really?
I said, oh, well, you're going to have to wait until after.
Dang.
She got that full coverage insurance?
She's covered on insurance? Oh,
Yeah, they
no,
cover
no, no, no. But see, it's tricky because she got one of them starters with the key. And she went into a friend of hers house, left that part. The car was running, but she left that part and drove all the way to somewhere else. And she don't have that part.
Wow.
I said, you screwed. Until after I get out of here.
Yeah.
I got to drive all the way back to Surprise, then back to Phoenix College,
Ooh.
then back. I'm like, oh, you're going to pay for this one.
Yeah, that's not the business right there.
Exactly. Logan, man. They feel like, oh, they don't need me.
With your hosts, Bird Gang representative Casual E and Sean McConnell from Casual Sports, me, Jay Adams from The Focus, and NFL vet Ed Smith from Easy Sports Talk. Buckle up for 60 minutes of NFL football previews and pick'ems. Hold tight as we preview this week's games with in-depth analysis and opinion and a flavor all our own. Bragging rights are on the line with the Neutral Zone Pick'em Trophy up for grabs. It's the Neutral Zone. Lace them up.
Turn that up, turn that
Get
up.
out the way, get out the...
It is the Neutral Zone.
Can't say that.
It is the Neutral Zone. I am Jay. I am your host. And my co-host, I would say...
Right now, I'm winning.
Get out of here.
Usually I'm joined by three additional gentlemen, but Ed Smith, he is at a speaking engagement. He big-timed us this week, so shout out to Ed Smith. I got Casual E, Earl Burnett
What's up?
from the Casual Sports that runs every Monday from 8 to 9, and then also Sean McConnell, who is with him on Casual Sports
Yes.
as well. What's good, gentlemen?
We are good. At least I am, for now.
Yeah, chilling for now.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So everybody, we do this show. It is a pick'em show all the way through the end of the season, and we are competitive. Definitely, that is the case. We are definitely competitive. So we want to give you an update on the standings. Last week, it was a miracle. I was somehow up at the top, and even when a broken clock is right twice a day. So, Sean, do you have the update on from week 9? Do you have that, or do you want to go into the takeaways first, Mark?
Let's go takeaways. I got the computer loading a little slow today.
All good. So, Casual E, your takeaways from week 9.
Man, I got 2 takeaways. 2 things that sucked. Kickers suck this year, man.
Oh, man.
Can you believe this? I just did this just out of just wanting to see something. And I did a little bit of research real quick. 10 years, 2008, 4 missed extra points. Okay, they moved the extra point back.
Right.
2018 to date, we have missed 37 extra points. These are not just missed field goals. These are extra points.
They got what they wanted when they changed it, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. They changed it. I'm like, wow, that is incredible.
Now you can't run to the refrigerator.
No.
I guess moving it back brought, like you said, that pressure.
Yeah.
And that's part of the game. And so, yeah, wow. Some of these kickers, man, they better get it together. And I know this has nothing to do with this show, football.
Okay.
But I'm going to be the first one to go off on a tangent, and that's the Suns just suck, man.
Not tonight, though.
Too soon.
You know, they would come out tonight and start playing, wouldn't they?
Against
When
the
you were trying to
Celtics.
make that point.
But I'm trying to
exactly.
make that point exactly. But Igor Kokoshkov, you don't know if you should be coaching effort. I'm gonna show you how to coach effort. Pay attention. This is how you coach effort. I'm gonna show you right now.
Okay.
Sit down. That's all you say to whoever's not showing effort. You sit them down. That's how you coach effort.
Oh, you're sending it to the Lakers. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, Tyson. Sorry, Tyson. Hey,
And you sit them
Suns are
down,
up by
you sit
a
them
lot
down and
right
tell
now.
them, look at Holmes play. And that's how you give me effort.
Yeah, I'd start Holmes right now,
Heck
honestly.
yeah, for sure.
Anyways, they're up 18.
So yeah, so far so good for them tonight. So Sean, what you got for takeaways?
My takeaways: the Rams Saints game was as advertised. Man, that was a high scoring
Wow.
game.
Track meet.
And considering that the Rams have a good defense, I thought it was going to be a little bit lopsided. But man, that was a track meet. And the Packers Patriots game was not as advertised. That was a bit of a snoozer, honestly.
Yeah.
For me, my takeaway was when you mentioned the Rams in terms of having a great defense. Do they really? I mean, has it really showed up on a consistent basis this
Well,
year? And a few weeks ago, I had mentioned that just in passing when we were talking about one of the Rams games. I mean, I know that they have all the components, all the pieces there.
Right.
Maybe it's the example comes to mind of the Kansas City Chiefs. We know that their defense isn't the best,
Right.
But are they that bad, or is it just that everybody's passing on them when they're in the certain parts of the game? So it's just one of those things that brought up to me. So let's get into our standings real quick before we get
Do we
into
have to?
Yeah, let's just we'll make a quick run through it.
All right, there's a three-way tie for first. Everyone's at 11:30, and I'm just a little bit behind at 10:90.
You're just a little bit behind.
Just
huh?
4 games. Hey, you're already losing this one.
When it's me behind us, you just behind. Man. You're just a little bit behind.
Hey.
Semantics.
I'm gonna cut the feed off real quick.
So let's jump on into this. Let's start with the first game this week. What do we have here? We got New Orleans at Cincinnati. New Orleans at Cincinnati. New Orleans has a balanced offense. We know that they just added Des Bryant. I'm curious to get, especially maybe your thoughts, gentlemen, on what you think his impact will be. I'm a little bit indifferent about it. 7 different receivers have caught passes from Drew Brees last game. Defense, they gave up 35 points. When you're looking at Cincinnati, their defense, they allow 6.7 plays per drive, which is 31st. They're giving you an opportunity, so you're going to be staying on the field and really driving down. So you really have to take into account that when you're trying to pick this game. For me, if I had to pick it, I'm looking at New Orleans, even though they're playing at Cincinnati. What you got, Doug?
Man, I think Drew Brees just threw another touchdown in that game.
Man, good
But
Lord.
but the Saints, like Sean said earlier, the Saints offense is rolling, man. I'm looking at that offense. I'm like, wow, they got too many things that you have to stop. Too many components.
True.
But the main thing is, how do the Bengals stop Michael Thomas? How are they going to stop Michael Thomas?
Right.
Did you see that last week?
Right.
211 yards. Wow,
Yes.
they use this guy in every component of their offense. When it's short, he's killing them, picking up first downs.
Yeah.
And then they force you to come up and play bump and run. And when you come up and play bump and run, Marcus Peters, you get burnt.
Naming names.
Man.
I mean, burnt. That dude is incredible. But adding, of course, Alvin Kamara, that component to it just makes that even more dangerous. So they're really hard to stop. But Cincy will be without A.J. Green in this game, and that's going to be tough. So they're going to pretty much double up on Boyd and make it really hard on Dalton to get anything down there, because the Bengals are 5-9 coming off a bye week under Marvin Lewis.
Oof.
What do you got the
So-
phone off of bye weeks? Some of the players, man.
5-9 under
I
Marvin
knew
Lewis.
homework.
See,
Hey, how's that for homework,
How
Ed?
about that for statistics right there?
Talk about homework.
Take that for that.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Well done.
Yeah, playing on to Cincinnati's defense, Tampa Bay put up 18 on them in the fourth quarter.
Man.
Almost made that comeback.
Right.
And when you look at that, Cincinnati is not a complete team. New Orleans is closer to a complete team. They got a Band-Aid and Eli Apple on the defense. Obviously, he isn't the solution to fixing the defense. There's like 7 players you need to fix that defense. But Drew Brees is going to enjoy having another weapon, albeit an old one in Des Bryant. I do think, since they are spreading the ball at will, that Dez is going to do things. I don't think he's going to do what Earl has been putting him up on this giant pedestal for weeks for Arizona. He's not
Thanks
going to be
a
able
lot,
to,
Arizona, for doing nothing.
he's not going to be getting 3 TDs a game. I think he's going to be manageable, maybe like 50 yards, maybe a touchdown in short range. Nothing like burst speed getting over the top of the defense. It's going to be quick in the slot, here and there.
Yeah, I agree with that. No man's gonna come off the couch and come in and dominate no NFL game. So you got to give him time to, Drew Brees is gonna do what Dak did with Amari.
It's nice to hear you say this, because
get
I didn't think you
one-
believed this.
Just get one or two plays that they really know how to do, and then he'll work his way that way. So. Yeah.
All right, how about we get into Jacksonville at Indianapolis? Jacksonville, 10.6 points a game the last three games. When you look over at Indianapolis, they're 28.9 points a game. Luck 9.7 yards per completion this year. So if I had to pick, I'd go with Indianapolis, and for no other reason that Bortles is still around on the other side, and plus they're playing at home. What's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I have to go with Jacksonville. I don't know why. Don't let the Colts' previous games fool you. They let 42 points in. They let 37 points in.
This is true.
That was against Buffalo and Oakland.
Wow.
Yes.
And Jacksonville is #1 in pass defense right now. And I think Bortles, sorry Ed, is somehow going to find a way to get a much-needed win for the Jacksonville team.
I'm a little lost here. Ed's not here to give me the Borders report. I'm like, oh man, I'm lost here.
So we're going to pick Jacksonville.
Exactly. No, but this is going to be a competitive game. The Colts are trending upwards, though, and the Jags are starting to sink. The Colts' offensive line has done a great job keeping Andrew Luck upright. I mean, they have done a marvelous job. The front office went out when Andrew was down hurt. They went out and got some first-round talent to keep him upright. So Quentin Nelson and the center, Ryan Kelly, have been lights out. But the Jags are struggling on offense, and that's trickling over to their defense. They're not getting pressure up front to allow the opportunities for interceptions on the back end, which is Ramsey and Boye are starving right now. And they're usually eating like crazy, but they are starving, and you start to see it frustrate them. So I'm definitely going to go with the Colts in this game because it's at home.
Okay. So we're gonna save these some of these other ones until we get back. We're gonna get into the Arizona Cardinals in the next segment and what we got going on with them, because they're going to be facing a juggernaut. You might have heard of them, the Kansas City Chiefs. But you are listening to the Neutral Zone on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060 and 100.7 KSLX HD Channel 2. Why don't you go ahead and follow the show or like us on Facebook at Neutral Zone Show. We tested out some new technology that we may be bringing to you sooner rather than later. But we are on Facebook Live as we speak. So you're listening to the Neutral Zone. Come on back. We're going to talk a little bit of Arizona Cardinals. You can.
All right.
If there's any way for you to bring us back a little bit early so that we can have as much time as possible for the Arizona segment, that would be cool, man.
Come on, Carolina. Y'all got time.
I'll ask him.
I thought they had a better defense.
That's what if he can bring us back a little early.
Oh, can you hear? He can't hear you? Yo, Aaron, can you hear me? He can't hear me either. Yo. Nope, he can't hear a word I'm saying. How come this dude is always not catching the ball clean? Is that Jesse James?
Yeah.
Oh, he said to bring us back about as early as you can, or whatever you can do as far. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
I'm trying to see if there's a way that I can rejoin the live stream from here and then just use it, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So it would be cool, even if we only have that and then just have Jay on that, or on one, and I just switch back and forth to him, because he'll present the
Yeah, that
question.
would be cool, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows. I gave it to him. He know.
I hate sitting over here now.
You do?
This plug is terrible.
Oh, it's going in and out.
Yeah, it goes in and out.
You want to plug in mine? I can plug in another one.
No, you.
Yeah, it's not. I got this long cord, man.
Does
Trust
it
me.
go long enough? I don't think
Yeah.
mine goes long enough.
Mine is definitely longer than.
Mine doesn't go
You want to switch spots? We can switch spots if you want. Go
You guys
underneath.
over here
underneath.
comparing sides of cords and stuff, it's kind of weird.
Goes-
Just saying.
Oh, here's the closer one. Those shines, but
No.
No, don't worry about it.
No, mind you, I got
You got like a
some
real
room to roll over. Yeah, go ahead. We're comparing
I'll slide
chord
that.
sizes. It's
Dude.
not how you use it,
Oh,
man.
snap.
You good now?
I think so.
Sweet.
It's loud. It's too loud for you?
No, it's good. Just might have to sit down, let you know I am.
Oh, that looks kind of weird.
I know.
We got a lot of ground to cover. You know that damn game is a damn 12 o'clock game again Saturday. It was 1 o'clock this last week, and it's 12 o'clock this week. I'm like, oh my God, I don't even want to go to that
Well,
one.
that's like
Freaking
impossible.
ridiculous, man. I might just go there just to check in and leave.
Indeed, it is the neutral zone. I am Jay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love this. I love this. So we are coming back from the break here in terms of a bye for the Arizona Cardinals. And before I go any further, this segment is brought to you by NPX, a neighborhood joint, home of the 195-inch TV. Go to npx.life, and again, follow us on Facebook at Neutral Zone Show. So the Arizona Cardinals in the game before the bye, they ended up going into the bye with a victory. They are facing the Kansas City Chiefs. This couple things that I wrote down for this game. Will the bye make the offense more potent? I'm not trying to say they'll be able to hang with Kansas City Chiefs, but with more time for the OC, the new OC, to be able to work with the offense and install some things and just run through the repetition of things, take advantage of will they be able to take advantage of KC's defensive deficiencies? On the opposite side, when you're looking at Kansas City, last game they had 375 yards passing, 139 yards rushing. They did have 11 penalties for 86 yards, but they did have 60% third down conversion versus Cleveland as well. If I had to pick, I would go with Kansas City. I think it's pretty much a no-brainer. I think I looked, and Sean, I know you probably see these numbers. It was 90-something%, I think, was for Kansas City or something like that. I think it was some crazy number. But anyway, so what are your thoughts on this one, man?
It was 99 to
Wow.
1%.
That's pretty okay.
It's about as high as you can let it
Oh,
go.
that's the highest
because-
I've ever seen.
Because there's some 8-year-old out there that voted for Arizona once, so that's the 1%. And that probably would have been my kids. So, yeah, literally nobody thinks Arizona's going to win this game, which is great to be an underdog and all for Disney, but this isn't working in the NFL. Kansas City can't stop the run. They're one of the worst in the league. David Johnson, we can only hope, will crack 100 yards. He may crack 80.
Wow.
But, I mean, with another week of practice with Byron Leftwich, there could be a difference made. I don't think it's a big one because Arizona also can't stop the running. We all know what Kareem Hunt can do. He's going to explode. Fantasy owners beware.
Yeah, this is gonna get ugly. But we all do know the spread too, 17 points. 17. And the only thing that's left to answer is, will we cover it? And not only cover that, will we cover receivers? Because
I heard somebody talking about this game is this. While people aren't fans of moral victories, this might be a moral victory type game where if you stay
That's
within
true.
a certain amount of points, you say,
Yeah.
great job, everybody. You
I'm
get
one of those
points,
dudes that's saying that. I think this is the type of game that they just have to have some pride in and cover this spread. Don't just get waxed by way more than the spread, and it's going to be an offensive showdown, of course, from Kansas City because they score on like their first 2 or 3 drives.
But
So-
because of that, should the offense, should the air attack for the Cardinals be more effective if they're down by 14 points or so and they have to kind of Because if you look at a lot of the points or a lot of the point totals for Kansas City, they give up a lot of yards in the air.
Correct.
That's because you get down by a certain number of points, and all you're doing is throwing the ball anyway. So
That's
it's almost like that. It's expected in a lot of ways.
Well, the Chiefs will give you some opportunities to stay on the field.
Right.
Like you mentioned earlier about their penalties. That right there alone will give you a few more opportunities to keep your offense out there. But you have to score touchdowns and not kick field goals.
Yeah.
You have to pick up first downs and not go 3 and out. You go 3 and out more than 1 or 2, 3, 4 times in this game, you're done early.
Or if you're gonna have a chance to get them off the field,
Exactly.
third downs.
Exactly.
And
Don't.
so that-
You're right. Exactly. If you get something in your hands, no mistakes. I mean, if a ball hits you right in the chest, you have to squeeze that ball and get that pick.
Are you never gonna name names on that one?
And here's another thing that really gets me.
Okay.
Every time we get a little bit of pressure on the quarterback, somehow he gets away from us. They whip right off of us. If we don't tackle in this game,
Right.
this thing's gonna get ugly real quick.
Oh yeah.
Real quick.
Now I'm sure you guys already heard about this, but Buda Baker didn't
Yes.
practice today, so
Right.
DNP. And then also Kim Dichie was a DNP, but
Well, that's no surprise.
We have a few more minutes in this segment, but your thoughts just in general about, for example, Kim Dichie. I mean, he's not somebody. He's had flashes this year, but he doesn't seem to be like somebody that you can really count on. One of the assessments that I heard today on the radio was that, he's just more concerned about beating his man as opposed to playing whatever the scheme is supposed to be at that particular time.
And that's exactly what our defensive line has been alluding to. Our leadership, at least, has been playing, not just playing your assignments, but playing the scheme and fitting into that. I think it's hard for Kim Dichie. We talked about it before on the Casual Sports Show with him. He's been put on this pedestal since he was drafted to be the next Darnell Dockett.
Right.
There will never be another Darnell Dockett. There just won't. Aaron Donald's not going to be him. Nobody will be him. And I'm not saying he's the best defensive lineman to ever exist, because he wasn't.
Right.
But that type of motor,
Right. That's the key. Is the motor.
it's not learned, it's bred.
Right.
And Kim Dichie doesn't have that motor, or at least that mindset to execute.
You ever had back in the days had a bucket, a cart that just when you try to start it, just like
Ed talks relationships, Earl talks cars.
Kim Dichie is like that motor that just won't come on.
Right.
And that's what it is. Sometimes you see it, it'll crank. Oh, it got, and you get all happy because it cranked a little bit, and then it goes off.
It's got a bad spark plug.
Yeah, something like that. It's just that motor, and that like you said, that's not. You can't teach that. If you either have that or you don't.
This is a slight aside, though. It's about it. It's the expectation that I put on you may be an unrealistic expectation. So you're trying to live up to my
Right.
unrealistic expectation, but I evaluated you
Exactly.
wrong, whether it's in relationships or whether
Right.
it's on the defensive side of the ball or the offensive side of the ball. What will, when we come together next week, when we look back at this game, what will make you say, okay, I'm because we're all assuming a loss. So what will make you say, yeah, that makes me feel a little bit more confident about the direction of this team in terms of maybe on the offensive side of the ball, let's
Right.
start there, maybe yards,
Right. Well, the first thing
rushing, et cetera, whatever.
first thing I'm going to look at is sustaining drives. If Josh Rosen does what he did in that fourth quarter, those 3 drives that he started to drive the ball down the field, if he can just sustain a drive, take some time off the clock, and get in the red zone and score touchdowns in the red zone, then hey, I'll look back and go, I don't care if we're down 14 points. Still keep scoring. You know, if he can sustain drives, I'll be cool with that, the offense.
Offensively, I need to see David Johnson break 100.
You know?
That's the biggest thing for me. I want to see, obviously, a season high in points. We got to see the offensive trend upward in a big way, and quick, fast, in a hurry if we want to have any type of hope for keeping any of this coaching staff that really isn't entirely their fault
Right.
next year. And defensively, I want to see a season low for Kansas City, which for them could just be, 29 points? Yeah, it'd be 29 points would be their season low by 1 point.
Wow.
If we could just keep them to 29 points, I'd be happy with that.
Right. So
Wow.
if you guys could get to, so if the Cardinals can get to 29 points.
Well, here's the issue, though. That's
That'd
going to
be-
be hard to do because the Chiefs' offense is quick and short. They throw the ball fast and they throw it short and they turn them into big plays.
Yes,
So,
they do.
and that's the thing why the tackling is going to be keys because those short plays you have to wrap up immediately. and their screen game is phenomenal. I mean, their screen game is so scary, and we know we do not defend the screen
don't
that
defend-
well.
We don't defend screens, and we don't defend tight ends. Travis
right.
Kelce.
Oh my God.
Another
You didn't
fantasy
mention
alert.
that weapon.
Fantasy alert. And by the way, the season low and the season high, they meet heads. It's 29 for both teams. It'd be 29.
Yeah.
The season low and the season high.
Here's another thing about the Chiefs. The Chiefs' offense dictates their defense because their offense
Yeah.
scores
The
on all
defense
these
just takes a break.
drives, and the defense only has to do one thing. And all they do on their defense, if you look at them, all they're doing is trying to rush the passer.
Yeah.
If they get to the passer, then you're getting blown out in that game. But if you can protect your quarterback, they will get ate up in the passing game because, like you said, they can't stop anybody.
Right.
So it's going to be key for us to protect Rosen. It's going to come down to the offensive line. If we can protect Rosen, get him that lanes to throw the ball in areas where he can stand upright and throw the ball, then of course we can score some points in this game. But
Also, when you're looking at they played in Minnesota already, the Cardinals, but the crowd noise in Kansas City is going to be crazy. I think that has to be taken into account as well,
Yes.
because as cool as Rosen pretends himself to be, when you're in an environment like that, that's got to be something that's a little bit jarring for you.
right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see how he handles it. This is another notch in his rookie book
Exactly.
of things that he's gone through, and I'm okay with putting him through the fire as long as he gets out of that fire healthy.
Right.
I don't want him missing any games for
That's-
injury.
That's key.
I mean, put him through hell, put him in Oakland, put him wherever you want to put him. but just don't let him get hurt. That's all I care about.
My man, I
Yeah,
heard
we
that.
got to
I
keep
heard
him
that.
upright.
So I know that all three of us, I don't think there's any doubt about that. So
Well, I said in this, I like the Cardinals in this game to cover the spread, but the Chiefs will win.
right.
That's
no.
a fair assessment.
Yeah, you're not a fool.
No, I'm not a fool.
You don't fool. So we're gonna come back and we're gonna dive into the rest of the slate of games. You're listening to the Neutral Zone.
How much time we got? I got something for you, man. We
About
got to
30
put you on the
seconds.
spot
What you
real
got?
quick, man.
Real quick.
I had a listener text me and asked me to ask you personally.
Yeah.
What are you saying when you're saying it? You can. He wants to know time, place, why, how, and where it came from. What go?
All right, so if you ever played Street Fighter, so you know the
Oh!
right? You
That's
so
what
whenever
I
he
thought.
whenever he shot the fireball,
Yeah.
you get it.
Yeah.
And then also, if you listen to the Lady of Rage with Afro
remember
Puffs,
that.
she said, "I hit him." He's like, "Oh, you can." So that's what you get.
Man, why you never broke that down for us,
You
man?
never ask. If you ask,
That's true, that's
it's
true.
the Neutral Zone on NBC Sports Radio 1060. We're gonna be right back. Are you good?
Hey. That's awesome, man.
That's what I always thought it was.
When you said that, it just clicked in my head. I was like, oh, I remember that.
I was like, it's
Oh,
either that or he's
my
saying
God.
how you can, but I don't know why that would be.
Right.
It made more sense with Street Fighter.
Yeah, Street Fighter. I remember it.
So mine's gonna be get over here every time.
Well done. Well done.
I see your Street Fighter and I raise you Mortal Kombat.
Yes,
Right.
indeed. That just brings me back to getting my behind kicked many times.
Oh,
And,
man.
Mortal
I was
Kombat.
bad.
And I was the
at
guy
all
that would just
games,
walk in,
man.
y'all play? I was, y'all play.
Mash the buttons and hope for the
All
best.
right, there we go. You got the sticks
You
back.
got next.
Here.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Another touchdown.
Man, they killing it.
He didn't drop this one.
How many touchdowns did Connor have in this one? Anybody know? Let me check my fantasy team real
We
quick.
don't know.
Selfish ambitions over there. it sounds like.
Ha.
I done lost 3 games in this damn thing so far. I'm like, I didn't think I was gonna lose that many games.
You sound like
Ha, ha.
it's like, you know, I've lost all of them. Man, there's 2, I think. You see the trades I made though?
You tried? Oh, did you get them?
I got them both. I got AJ Green and David Johnson.
How? Oh, people probably just gave up probably.
Well,
by now.
Lynn gave me AJ Green for Joe Flacco because he had like no quarterbacks.
But AJ might not play the rest of the season.
He's gonna miss a couple games.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that going into it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was worth a shot because I'm not
Hell
using
yeah,
Joe
it's worth
Flacco.
a
I have
shot.
Aaron Rodgers. I'm not using Joe Flacco
Right,
ever.
right.
And I got David Johnson for somebody cheap.
That's
No,
a
I
good
gave
pickup,
two.
man.
I gave 2 deep running backs that they could use on their bench for David Johnson, because it was right when Leftwich came in. I was like,
Mhm.
something's going to change.
He picked up
eventually.
just a little bit, and everybody's still saying he ain't gonna do so. So they throwing him away, and you might be picking him up at the right time, especially against this Kansas City team,
Was in-
because they're gonna give him the ball in the passing game
I
more
had
than
nothing
running.
to lose at 2-7.
Hmm?
I'm 2-7. What do I got to lose?
Oh damn!
So you
Damn,
might as well-
2-7.
Yeah, so I might as well go for it.
Yeah, hell yeah, go all out. Go all out.
I really wish I could join an Oregon Live feed on this thing.
That sound like the stuff happening in my house, man.
What?
That sneezing and that thing.
It's
that-
not even.
Oh yeah, Alex was in the
Unplug me
hospital
real
the past
quick.
couple days.
'Cause it's
Yeah.
a little bit
Oh,
too
she was in the
close.
hospital.
She just got released today.
What?
Pneumonia.
Why you didn't say anything?
I was busy.
Oh,
Been busy trying to handle it.
damn. Well, she was down for the count.
Yeah.
Probably
Kinda
still is. Yeah, so I was gonna say she probably still is.
Suns up 16 points in the third quarter.
Okay, didn't play, man. Damn, Connor only got 14 points out of all these points they scored. Are you kidding
They
me?
have to share the ball, Earl.
Man.
Center confirmation. Switch your cast. Oh, I should check that out. Let's see if I can do that.
Ooh. Goodness, that 62-43. Sully's just putting it on him.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but they only
Boston-
play good one game every week,
every 8.
every 2 weeks. I mean,
I
something.
think Boston was like, hey, it's Thirsty Thursday tonight. Let's just go down to Scottsdale afterwards. Spend the day Friday. That had to be it.
Yeah, depending on what they got in, that might have been what they did last night.
Alright, let's see if I can get this thing to wait for connection. Something with this network isn't letting it happen.
Yeah, this network is either too, it's not secure or something, or it's too slow. And with that, you have to have streaming. You have to have a good internet to stream.
Or it's blocking IP framing or something. I don't even know if it's an actual thing. But.
Oh, the ball's loose. Okay, this is James Conner time right here, baby. Oh, heck yeah.
Get out of here.
What did Lev Bell gain from doing what he did, man?
Pride.
That's kind of cool how they do those, like they taking pictures. They actually taking pictures. He is Dan. Oh, that's a fumble. Boy, Carolina came out there and stunk it up.
Yeah.
Cam Newton talking about, we might not be the best team in the league, but I damn sure know that when we on the field, we the best. Well, Steelers didn't think so. Steelers tapping the ace.
Oh, what's that?
Where Ed at, like in Mesa, huh?
I'm not sure. I saw something he had on
Yeah,
social
somebody
media.
on
I forget
Mason, yeah.
where he's at. I think it might be.
Uh-oh, Connor just got hurt. I think he pulled a hammy.
Celebrating.
He just limped off the field. Just great. I got 14 points and he limps off the field.
So we got to hit up Seattle.
Seattle Rams, yeah. We're
We got a lot to cover.
behind
We
the
got
Steelers.
The Thursday one too, right?
Yeah, got it. Yep. It was on the soccer game, so I put it on the Sun.
Oh, it's the third quarter with 6 minutes left. And they actually up still?
So if I can figure out how to get this to work, I think on Thursdays if we can do it, I'll just have this or something else that will have you, and just have it be you, and then when you direct it to somebody, just switch it back to this one,
Okay, I got you.
or whatever one's gonna be there. So that, like, you're presenting the question.
Oh,
There goes Earl,
Got
guys.
that, man.
You see it live on Facebook. There he is. Someone call Chapman.
thanks for the help.
It's just gonna fall.
It's all good.
It is the Neutral Zone. I am Jay with Earl Burnett and Sean McConnell, our other co-host.
Yeah.
Ed Smith is talking to folks and probably relaying all kinds
Inspiring
of
people.
female-related stories and stuff like that. But we are behind the sticks a little bit. This third segment is brought to you by Entrust Realty. That's Entrust
Yep,
Realty.
yep.
Go ahead and like us on Facebook at Neutral Zone Show. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the Seattle is playing. The Seahawks are playing the Rams. When you're looking at Seattle and the Rams, my biggest thing for Seattle is, can Seattle convert on third down? They were 4 for 15 last week. We're looking at, they had 154 yards rushing last week, but can they avoid that costly turnover? Because Russell Wilson can't do everything at all times. And then with the Rams, was their defense exposed, or was that just an aberration? That's my big question. So if it comes down to me, I still have to pick the Rams. They're playing in LA. Don't know what that really means, but they're playing in LA, so I got to go with the Rams.
Yeah, the Rams are going to get out here and take their anger out on the Seahawks in that game. But it's a division game, so these teams are familiar with each other. The last time they played in Week 5, 33-31 was the score. So Seahawks hung with them in that game.
See, did you see the 31?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about the Rams.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Rams.
and they held Gurley to 77 yards, but then they gave him 3 touchdowns. So that's going to be the key, because last week Melvin Gordon gashed them for 7.1 yards a carry. So they're going up and down in average Seahawks. So you don't know what you're getting. So they're not like average team. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Rams. But if I'm the Seahawks, though, I'm throwing the ball deep on that team.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I gotta say that I've seen a lot of people picking Seattle, and I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. I don't think it's gonna be this close. I mean, the Rams aren't gonna lose 2 straight,
Nope.
especially not with a division rival
Not
at
at
home.
home either.
And they lost. The Rams lost their only game. They scored 35. Seattle hasn't scored 35 all year. It doesn't add up to me. Like, this is some
trap
weird,
game or something.
yeah, some weird sleeper trap game upset that everyone's picking. That you're just asking for trouble. I'm not doing it.
Speaking of trouble, real quick, the Carolina at Pittsburgh, this score right, oh my
Wow.
God. The score right now is, what was it, 52 to
Yeah.
14?
53 now after the extra.
And it wasn't James
And I'm just 52
Oh, no,
to
52,
14,
my bad.
fourth quarter, 14 minutes, 55 seconds left to go. I thought it was going to be close. Who did I pick? I picked in this game. I picked Pittsburgh because I thought it would be a closer game, and Carolina would
Yeah.
try to run the ball to keep it. Yeah. So what did you pick?
I picked Carolina, man, and because of Cam Newton balling out this year, he looked like he was in that MVP, like he was in 2015.
Mode,
Yeah, like he was in 2015. Right now, he's completing 67% of his passes. He's rushing for like 10 or more rushes per game for 45 or so yards, and he's dangerous because he scores touchdowns running.
Not today.
Not tonight.
Woo.
I definitely had Pittsburgh, but I said both teams are coming off of multiple game win streaks. It's going to be mostly offensive performances. I was half right.
Half right.
I was half right on that. I'll take half right anytime.
Good. So we'll leave that in the dust. So let's move
Yeah,
on
that's
to
definitely
Detroit
in the
and
dust.
Chicago. So Detroit O-line gave Stafford no time. He got sacked 10 times last week. Chicago,
Not
subpar
Not
performance
nine.
against
Yeah.
Buffalo, even though they won. Can the defense apply pressure is my biggest thing, because if you give Stafford time, he'll pick you apart.
True.
So that's my biggest thing. But in the end, I got to go with Chicago. I'm starting to believe in Trubisky, even though they struggled last week.
I've got 30th in run defense versus 7th in the run. Guess who's which?
30th is Detroit.
30th is Detroit. In Detroit, they waived Amir Abdullah this week, and Kyle Long is on IR for Chicago. It doesn't matter. Chicago's winning this game. Detroit can't do anything every time I pick them, they burn me, so I'm not picking them.
And Abdullah, that's a name that kind of links to David Johnson, right?
A little bit.
Yes, because they love that.
They love that guy.
Steve Kimes wiping sweat right now. That worked out.
Right.
Man, we touched on Stafford last week a little bit, and like you just said, he's getting pressured like crazy. He's getting pressured 37% of his dropbacks. That's just crazy. 10 sacks, and 9 of those sacks came from a 4-man front.
He was dropping 1, 2, 3, and I just
A 4-man front's doing that though. That's amazing. I'm like, did he piss somebody off in that offensive line like Willie Beeman did in that movie? But the only thing that about that game is Khalil Mack is coming back, and there goes some more sacks. So I definitely took Chicago in this game.
So we'll move on to Atlanta and Cleveland. Atlanta offense is clicking. Three wins in a row. Each of those 3 wins have they scored 23 or more points. When you're looking at Cleveland, they won the time of possession last week, but Mayfield, he had 300 plus yards. Chubb had 85 yards rushing. Is it upset possible? It's possible, but I don't see it. I go with Atlanta. What you got?
Yeah, but a lot of people are saying that the Falcons are starting to hit their stride. But hold on a second. Are they really?
Yeah.
You know, because when you look back, is it the competition that's giving them a 3-game winning streak? Because they started 1-4, but the matchups were brutal. Eagles, Saints, Bengals, Steelers beat them. They were close games except the Steeler game. But the 3-game winning streak, Bucks, Giants, Redskins. So let's slow your roll on Atlanta until they beat somebody. To me, I'm still thinking they still have a long way to go. But
they struggle with the Giants too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It'll be a heck of a feat for them to make the playoffs, though. I mean, since 1990, 136 teams started 1-4, only 9 made the playoffs. So if they can get a 6-2 record going in the second half of the season, they can pretty much do that. And they added Bruce Irvin to their defense to help that defense a little bit more too. So we'll see.
Someone call the fire department. The good old dumpster fire is back in Cleveland. I don't typically like Atlanta on the road, but when they went into Washington last week and took care of business and had me fooled with 38-14. I mean,
Man.
Against Washington, who we thought was a pretty decent team. Not
They just kept running the ball and been able to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, like Earl said, they added Bruce Irvin. I see Atlanta here. They're starting to click when it counts.
Yeah, the Browns defense, though, was holding quarterbacks to an 81.6 passer rating. Are they going to do that to Matt Ryan, who's on fire right now?
As long as Steve
think so.
Sarkisian stays away, stays out of the, anyway, out of the bottle, something like that. Because he's been sold doing his thing. I don't know. But hiding pretty well.
Exactly.
But so let's get into Miami and Green Bay. Miami, Osweiler, no TOs last game, no turnovers, but he only had 139 yards. There was an issue with the field, but not from the game the day before. But anyway, the defense had 4 takeaways, only gave up 6 points. And Green Bay will go as far as Rodgers will go, and that's always been the case.
That's always
so
going to
for
be
me,
the case.
I pick Green Bay, but I think it'll be a little bit closer than what people think.
Yeah.
Miami has to be the ugliest 5-win team in the league right now, right?
Tell me about it.
Like,
Hey, 5-2 is 5-2.
Still 5-4.
Or 5-4. I said that. 5-2. Where the hell
It's
I
all
get
good.
5-2?
We're in November, Earl.
Yeah,
November.
exactly.
It's all good.
The ugly team. I mean, it was 13-6 last week against the Jets. That's a snooze fest. Green Bay's reeling right now. Lost 2 straight. They gotta put up something. This is gonna be one of those games where they just come out swinging.
Yeah, how do the Dolphins get a win up in Lambeau? They're going to get it, hopefully, by doing what they've been doing, like you just said, getting turnovers. They are leading the league in interceptions, 15. They even got Brady to turn over 2 picks in a game they played against Brady. So can they do that against Rodgers is going to be the question. And they can cover pretty good. So those dynamic receivers that Rodgers has, if they're covered, it's going to make a long day for Aaron Rodgers. But Brock Osweiler cannot keep up with Aaron Rodgers in this game. You can't beat Aaron Rodgers kicking field goals. So
There are certain quarterbacks that I just continue to use the phrase regress to the mean.
Yeah.
Osweiler's one, Bortles is
Yeah.
one, Fitzpatrick is one.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for that to happen. Maybe last week was an indication of that with that 139 yards passing because he's Osweiler.
But the Packers have a lot more problems than the Dolphins, though. They got 6 games coming up against winning record team, so they're not winning the division.
So we are going to get back and come with our rapid fire segment. We're only one behind the stick, so we can just ride on. We ride on point. So we got to go.
All right,
You haven't
up.
heard us talk about yet. We'll talk about it when we get back. You listen to the Neutral Zone on NBC Sports Radio, 1060 AM and KSLX HD Channel 2, 100.7. It is the Neutral Zone. Why don't you go ahead and follow Casual Sports on Twitter at Casual Sports, KAZUALSPORTZ. Follow me on Twitter at Javon Love. And like us on Facebook at Neutral Zone Show. It is the Neutral Zone. You get.
Oh yeah.
What was that?
That's Streets of Rage, boy. Heck yeah.
Some growling stuff.
You're a fool.
Yeah.
You just started something now, man. You
You're a
going
fool.
back to where it was classic, man. Those was
Oh
classic
my
games.
gosh.
Man, it's classic.
Oh yeah.
That's too much.
That's
too
Oh, man. All right.
This is wild, man. It's not connecting anything. I even have switcher cast on here. It's just like waiting for connection. And I just following all the instructions. Which only tells me that it's gotta be something with the network. I'll have to test it on a better network, I guess. My dad said that was a sumo wrestler yell.
I used to love that game, man, better than I loved Street Fighter. Streets of Rage. Yeah, that was a cool game. The little black kids would be doing the windmill.
I've never played that game before.
I actually love Double
Love that
Dragon.
game, man. One of Bickley or Murata, one of them dudes said it earlier. If video games would have been like today's video games back in the day, we probably wouldn't be where we are right now. I know I'd probably been a couch potato if games looked like and how they were today.
For sure.
Back then.
It's no wonder people are couch potatoes now.
Exactly. Man, these kids are just zombies on this dang Fortnite stuff, man. It's incredible.
Well, my son hasn't been playing it lately. But even so, yeah.
Mine have. They just added some NFL stuff to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're gonna have all of the teams uniforms. You can buy skin.
Yeah, the skins or something like that.
That's how they ripping the parents off.
Yes, Dad, you are live for Pong.
Huh?
My dad said Pong. Yeah.
Good stuff.
For me, it was all about Zelda.
Zelda, dang asshole.
Hey, brand new for me.
Zelda.
Zelda N64 Zelda.
Oh, okay. We do have the live link on Casual Sports, right, for the show, right? If they go to Casual Sports, they hit live and still get this link live, right? It's on the live button, right?
They can now. It'll be a post. It won't be live on Casual
Oh,
Sports.
damn it. I guess that's the wrong information I'm giving somebody that's out.
All right,
So
it's
it's
posted.
NBC Sports 1060.
Atari Space Invaders. we found a niche. There's a way to make this.
It is the neutral zone. Part of my little stuffy nose. I got allergies, man.
Oh man, I feel for you.
Yeah, it's all good. Like Shaka Khan. So we do this every Thursday from 8 to 9. This segment is brought to you by Majestic Services. Go to majesticservices.net for your pressure washing and window cleaning needs. Commercial or residential, go to majesticservices.net. And again, you can like us on Neutral Zone at Neutral Zone Show on Facebook. Want to say thank you to those who support us, our man behind the glass, Aaron. You are much appreciated. Also, Majestic Services, Publico Italian Eatery, Maduro's Fine Cigars and Tobacco, Milano's Music, Picoli's Natural Pet Food and Supplies, NPX, the Neighborhood Joint, Hands Shots, Cold Coffee Roaster, Howard Peretz, the Old School Sports Junkie, Entrust Realty, Knucklehead Tattoo Shop, Debbie Bishop, Homeowners Financial Group. So let's get to this rapid fire segment. So without further ado, let's get into, what was it? I just had it right here. Dallas at Philadelphia. It's a Sunday night game. Dallas bordering on being irrelevant. That's one of the quotes that it be like or dislike, that's one thing, but if nobody cares, that's what you don't want, especially if you're the Dallas Mavericks.
Mavericks.
Cowboys.
Well, it doesn't really matter.
Leadership is I wrote down question mark. Roster use, or they're not using what they have to the best of their ability. For Philadelphia, they better win this game.
Oh,
They got to win this game. And so as a result, I pick Philadelphia. Earl, what you got?
Man, the Cowboys are struggling in one major area, and that's those receivers cannot get separation. That's the issue why Dak Prescott takes 5 sacks in a game and throws picks in a game, because he's standing back there. At first, I was down on him, saying, dude, get rid of the ball. What are you doing? You know, I thought he just couldn't read the defenses and things were kind of confusing to him. But I'm looking at the tape, and it's like they can't get open. And now getting Amari, you can see him he's got the quick feet. He knows how to get separation, but they're going to take them time to get some chemistry going in that. And so it's going to be, they're going to lock up on Amari and take him out of the game. And now you're right back where you were started, Dak. So it's tough on them, man.
Yeah, I got a quote for you here. Cowboys need a complete overhaul.
Oh,
None other than Troy Aikman. Finally, somebody made Tennessee look good, and that was the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas will make Philadelphia look even better.
Wow.
Nice.
Hey,
But by the way, down the road, Cowboys play the Saints. Guess who's coming back home?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, it will.
So let's go on to Giants at San Francisco Monday night. Good Lord.
Oh my gosh, do we really have to?
I picked San Francisco. That's all I'm gonna say. Kim Mullins do it again. I love the way that Shanahan is aggressive no matter who is taking the snaps. But I got San Francisco in this one. What you got, Earl?
Yeah, San Francisco at home, but the Giants will put up some points in this game. Eli will get those receivers open. Beckham and him will get some, scoring going. But who cares, really? I mean, 49ers at home. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, this is it's got to be the garbage game of the month. The Giants have to lose. They need one of the highest draft picks possible for their rebuild. There's still no word on who's going to start for San Francisco. They're not sure on Mullins. It's not official yet. But it may not even matter because the Giants are still sticking with Eli. And that's, I think, the most important point right now.
Wow.
Indeed. And the game that we all wanted to talk about, Buffalo at the Jets. Buffalo, I think I came across a stat. They're on pace for one of the worst offensive seasons ever. Is Peterman going to start?
Peterman!
The Peterman. Darnold had, 4 interceptions last game. And all of a sudden now he might possibly be out this week for some type of injury in quotation. So got to ride the bumps from a rookie. But I picked the Jets. With the question mark, so the Jets, that's who I got.
He's like, the Jets? Yeah, Darnold's going to be out of this game, so the experience of McCown will definitely outweigh what's starting in Buffalo. So
True.
I'd say this will be the Jets 13-3. I gotta give you a score on that one.
13-3. I'll give you a 6-3. How about that? I'm definitely picking the Jets. It should have been the pivotal garbage matchup of Darnold and Allen, but that was like the promise with it. We might not even get any of that. Allen maybe is up for returning. Darnold will not play.
They don't want to play him.
They don't want to play any of them.
can tell.
It's disappointing when you act. I mean, it's good for Arizona when you actually have a rookie that you can play and feel confident in. These guys don't even have that. New York is just in a state of where are our quarterbacks?
Yeah.
In diapers or in prison.
Oh,
Sorry. So we're talking about the Jets,
What the?
not the Giants. My bad.
This dude is hilarious.
Shots at New York.
Washington at Tampa Bay. Can the running game get back on track? You have Captain Checkdown at quarterback. What am I thinking of? Why is his name escaping me? The quarterback from
Matt
Alex
Leinart.
Smith.
Alex.
Oh, that's
Alex
too good.
Smith.
Was Matt Leinart?
Alex-
Hey,
Alex-
Captain Chick Down. That was Leinart.
Well done. And so then with Tampa Bay, if Tampa Bay gets the early lead, it may ease things because then they'll be able to do what they want to do and not have to worry about Washington trying to control the ball with the running game. But Tampa Bay? Seriously.
Yeah, these rappers what you got here are all exactly the same almost.
Yeah.
But this game again, you don't know what you're getting in Fitzpatrick. So I would say let Washington have a 14-point lead. Let Fitzpatrick come in and bring the magic in.
Oh man.
True.
Man.
True.
I'm gonna go with Tampa though.
Well, I guess I'm the only one going with Washington. Atlanta made Washington bleed. That defense was supposed to be no laughing matter with haha added. See what I did there? No laughing matter. Tampa Bay needs to bounce back from 2 straight losses. It could be a close one, but I'll take Washington. You guys tuned me out after I made that joke.
Oh my God. You're a
No
fool.
laughing matter.
I like
Ha-ha.
it. Good job.
Oh, that's
Thank you.
good.
Chargers at Oakland. If Oakland could just tap out right now, that they would. But is this
They
where
did.
is this where the Chargers exactly? Is this where the Chargers slip up? Do they overlook Oakland? I don't think they do. But so I got Oakland because when the crowd turned on Oakland, Carr had only 171 yards last week, so I got Chargers all day.
Yeah, me too. I got the Chargers in this game. I don't think they're the same Chargers from the past, so I think they're a really good team. Melvin Gordon is the real deal. So, but this is a division game, so sometimes the Raiders come in there and give them issues.
Now,
But
if Gruden has any problem,
yeah, but exactly. But if the Raiders don't have any players, then it's like playing a JV team. So I mean, the Chargers should blow them out.
It's like playing an 8th grade JV team.
Exactly.
The Chargers are starting to build off of their progress throughout the season. Oakland has not built anything this year. I have to go with the Chargers handedly. I don't think, because even though Gruden, it's a divisional game and it's Gruden hasn't learned about his divisional opponents enough yet to really know. Like when you play against Jeff Fisher, you knew what you were getting and you had
Yes,
time
you
to
did.
kind of take your lumps. Gruden has no idea about any of these teams.
Good point. Good point. Last, New England at Tennessee. Look, man, if New England loses to Tennessee, I know they had this explosion Tennessee last week. That was more of an
That was
aberration.
more of Dallas. It happened.
Yeah.
Way to go, Dallas.
In New England, steady performance for Brady. It wasn't spectacular, but it was steady. So definitely, I go New England. What you got, Sean?
Definitely New England. Tennessee is near dead last in points per game.
Mm.
New England is 4th in points per game. Tennessee has no answer for New England's versatility. They just don't.
Yeah, I told you guys the last time they played earlier this year that this division, New England owns this division too. It's not their division, but they still own this division. Tennessee doesn't do well against New England. None of these teams do well. They just don't match up to them. So yeah, New England will run away with this one easily.
And that's how we do it. So again, we do this every Thursday from 8 to 9. It is our NFL Pickup Show. It is the Neutral Zone. So on behalf of our guest, our co-host who's out here, Ed Smith, on behalf of Earl Burnett, on behalf of Sean McConnell, I am Jay Adams. And as we like to say around here, we go.
Go. Thank you. Thank
Thanks,
you.
bro. I had to make my font